here to respond exclusively, border czar Tom Homan. Tom, it's great to see you tonight. The Minnesota politicians will say often, as Fry does, and we're going to get into him a little bit later on, but Fry and Waltz, they'll say, well, we want calm. We want the temperature to come down. And then they egg on the violence. They continue to do this night after night. And as you saw, Tom, it's getting worse night after night.
It is. And just before I got in front of the camera, my security team advised me that the person that stole that farm last night is now wearing a set of handcuffs in custody. So I was just advised of that before I got on the camera. So, and there's others, others are coming. So they're going to be held accountable. But you're right. Look, Mayor Fry and the governor could end this right now. They could say, ICE, we want to work with you. ICE, we want to let you into our jails, and we're going to, you know, respect your detainers. Any illegal alien that we book into a jail, when we're done with them, we're going to call you. So you can arrest them in the safety and security of a jail rather than us releasing them to the street. Then you got to send a whole team to look for them. They could fix the situation right now, because as of right now, what are these, you know, these anarchists, what have they achieved so far? What have they achieved? Has ICE decreased their operations? No, we doubled down. We're arresting people every day and we'll keep doing it. They haven't achieved anything other than violence.
Well, Tom, I also think what's clear here is that the money trail has to be dried up. That has to be exposed. I know there's some reporting around the edges about some foundations, perhaps connected to billionaires we've been talking about, are giving some type of support for some of these groups that may filter into these protests. But the idea that this is some organic uprising is ludicrous. I was there. It was obvious. It was not organic.
Well, you're exactly right. And there's a deep dive right now between HSI, IRS, and FBI. We know there's organized groups. We know there's funding. And we're doing a deep dive right now to identify them, follow the money, and find out who's organizing this, who's inciting the violence. And justice is coming their way. So we're all over this. We just had increased the number of attorneys to Minnesota, number of agents. But there's a separate part of that. We're looking at the financials. We're looking at who's funding this, who's antagonizing this, and they'll be held accountable, Laura. We're all over it. You should hear something real soon.
When Governor Walz said for citizens to track ICE, film them, and record their, quote, atrocities for future prosecution, and then you hear the Philly police chief look like a comedy sketch when she was up there talking about, oh, we're going to, you know, we'll arrest ICE if we have to. We'll arrest the agents. If you come into our town, you're going to get arrested, essentially. I'm paraphrasing. What's your response to them tonight?
Well, the Philly sheriff, she's proven she's not too smart. I mean, you're not going to arrest anybody. Like you said earlier in your monologue, there's supremacy clause. If you interfere or impede ICE officers, I don't care if you're wearing a badge or not. You just committed a felony. So we're going to continue doing this job, and these people who want to you know, say follow ICE, you know, and film ICE, you know what? You can protest. They have that right. But when you cross that line, and we've proven it, if you interfere or impede or assault an ICE officer, you will be prosecuted. And one thing I'm pushing for right now, Laura, we're going to create a database where those people that are arrested for interference, impediment, assault, we're going to make them famous. We're going to put their face on TV. We're going to let their employers in their neighborhoods, in their schools, know who these people are. Because as you said, a lot of these people, they say they're taking time off work to protest. I bet you a lot of them are calling in sick. I bet you a lot of their employers don't know what they're doing. But we're going to make sure everybody knows who they are. We're going to broadcast. They want to broadcast the ICE officer that was nearly killed all over the internet. We're going to broadcast every one of these people we arrest.
Tom, what's the status of the agent who was ambushed last night, his medical status?
Well, I talked to him. He's healing, and he's under medical care. He's in a secure location, not because he's afraid, because of the death threats against his family, but I'm glad he's in a secure location, because I myself have seen plenty of intelligence reports that A lot of people want him dead. They want his family dead. So he's in a safe place right now, healing up, getting medical attention.
Three Venezuelan illegals attack him, and they want him dead? Has Mayor Fry or Tim Walz reached out to his family?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, the bottom line is, again, have they met with the Angel family? And all these people protesting what's happening in Minneapolis, where were they when Laken Riley was, brutally murdered? Or we can go, how many young women have been raped and murdered and brutally killed? Where was all the anger then? And I talked to an Angel mom today, and she's upset because no one was protesting her daughter's death when she was raped and murdered by an illegal alien. It's incredible where we're at today as a nation. I'll say it again, and I mean it. I think the difference right now is these politicians, they hate Trump more than they love their communities, because if they really love their communities, they'd be working with ICE to take these public safety threats off the street. They don't want to give President Trump a win, but I got news for him. President Trump's winning every day. Every criminal illegal alien we take off the street makes this country safer, and we're not going to stop.
Tom, are you concerned about the CNN and Quinnipiac polls that showed declining public support for ICE and President Trump's approach to immigration enforcement? Do you think those are accurate? Or are they being egged on by the press?
I think they're being egged on by the press. I think there's a lot of false media out there, and I think we need to be better at messaging what we're doing. Look, bottom line is 70% of everybody arrested is a criminal. We need to start advertising that every single day and putting their pictures all over social media. And the bottom line is if people listen to most of the media, not this network, they're going to hear that ICE is separating families every day. We're deporting U.S. citizen children. We're doing operations in elementary schools and churches and hospitals. We just got to push back the lies, because I think a lot of people don't get the facts, and we got to be better at getting the facts out there.
And Tom, we're showing live pictures from Minneapolis, and we know our viewers are concerned about that ambush and the state of that agent. And our viewers are wondering whether you learned anything else about how the ambush took place, or what he told you about it that you might share tonight.
I can't share anything more on ongoing investigation, but the agents, the agents, thank God he's alive and he's healing up. So, it's a travesty. I mean, Laura, I'll say it again. I said it a few weeks ago on your show. If the hateful rhetoric doesn't stop, there's going to be more bloodshed. It's not over. And what scares you the most is there's going to be another death, either of an agent or somebody that's steps over that line. I buried Border Patrol agents throughout my career. I buried special agents. The worst thing I've ever done in my career is handed a folded flag to a spouse or a child. I pray every night that I never have to do that again.
Tom, is it time for the Insurrection Act, or would that just add gasoline to the fire?
Well, I'm not going to get ahead of the president on that, but it's certainly an option, a viable option. So actually, I'll be meeting with the president tomorrow. So, I think it's something that needs to be on the table, because this cannot continue. There is going to be more bloodshed. I'm telling you. I hope I'm wrong, but I haven't been yet. There's going to be more bloodshed if something hasn't done.
It's going to spread, and most Minnesotans, by the way, and I want to say this tonight because folks have reached out to me, support ICE. It's this radical group of anarchists, and when you see them close up, you really get a sense of who they are. It's this crowd, a lot of them paid, a lot of them working, double shifts of protest against the rest of the state, which are reasonable, common sense, peaceful people of all backgrounds, including immigrant backgrounds. They don't like what's happened in the Twin Cities, and we're going to expose more about Jacob Fry in a moment. But, Tom, I think most people are good people. They want the bad people out, and they want some peace in their neighborhoods.
And we're going to get the bad people out. And as far as the organization, everybody that's planning these protests, giving these people weapons and funding this, again, justice is coming because we're deep diving that whole thing.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.